buckle up, because I've been holding this long story in for a long time, and when I tell you this is a hot mess, this is a hot, steaming, bubbling mess of a mess. My sister-in-law Lisa has cut all ties with me and hubby, telling us that she wants nothing to do with us ever again, because their mother asked her for $10, and we had the audacity to side with mother-in-law Lena when Lisa refused. Sounds petty? It is. Sounds simple? Not exactly. Edit. For context, this story doesn't occur in the US. This is all happening in the Caribbean. So for those confused by the use of the term mummy, which I think is such a cute cultural debate so far here, it's totally normal for grown adults to call their parents mummy and daddy out of respect. It's also the reason for certain healthcare, car, and labor oddities. A lot of us in my country still haven't not recovered from the pandemic because the tourism industry is only just reopening in full force, and that's the industry 70% of the working population relied on. Hubby has 3 siblings. Brother-in-law number 1, Josh, will watch you drown to save some rope. Brother-in-law number 2, David, is the sweetest, but a bit naive. And Lisa? Oh boy, I don't have anything to compare her to, but I think the title should hint at how bad she is. Lisa is the baby of the family and the only girl. She was spoiled rotten before their parents split up, and things only got worse once the separation became permanent. Lisa would play parent against parent and throw her brothers under the bus regularly. Hubby and I watched Lisa's behavior get more and more toxic as she grew into an adult, but there was no talking to mother-in-law or father-in-law. Both parents felt guilty about the fact that, of the siblings, Lisa was the one to grow up in the broken home, so they excused every tantrum, every snarky remark, and every selfish act. Once when Lisa was 12, she stole a pair of my spicy panties from the dryer. Hubby and I lived in the same duplex as my mother-in-law for a while. I actually thought the panties had been sacrificed to the dryer instead of a sock that cycle. That was until a month later. I saw Lisa throw the panties into our kitchen through the open back door. When I went over to their apartment to ask Lisa why she stole the panties, Lena got upset at me and told hubby to make me apologize to Lisa for accusing her of something I saw her do with my own eyes. Lisa had the family wrapped around her little finger. Fast forward to 2020. All the siblings were in their early to late 20s. Josh, David, and Lisa decided to remain living with Lena because she only had them pay $200 each a month for rent, utilities, and groceries. Mother-in-law still felt guilty about breaking up the family, so she sacrificed her freedom and needed to take responsibility for more than half the monthly expenses while her kids partied the land down. I mean, they literally partied the land down. One summer, my mother-in-law couldn't even afford shoes for work, but Lisa went on a week's vacation abroad. But something else happened in 2020, right? Enter the pandemic. Lena was laid off permanently from her job, so she looked to her adult children for financial support until she could find a new job. I emphasize adult, because at some point in our lives, children will have to help their parents. We just had to start a bit earlier, but it wasn't going to be for the rest of Lisa's life just yet. The 4 siblings just had to hold down the fort until their mother-in-law found a new job. Simple. Well, Josh wasn't pleased, but he's reasonable once you get him to sit down and listen to sense. David rolled with the punches. Lisa, however, after 5 months, she moved out to live with her boyfriend without warning. All Lisa said as she packed her things was, "I'm too young to take care of you, Mummy. I have my own life to live." Never mind her Josh, David, and hubby were all chipping in equally. Apparently, she had been carrying the load all by herself, and she'd just had enough. She was so tired that Lisa left her dog for mother-in-law to take care of with no money. We were all speechless. Not only had Lisa, but mother-in-law called in a favor with a friend to get Lisa a job right out of high school. Lisa didn't even have to apply. What's worse, mother-in-law, with the help of me and hubby, bought her a car with no expectation of ever being repaid, and you better believe she never offered to pay us back either. Without Lena's help, Lisa would have had nothing, but she left mother-in-law up shit creek without a paddle, and my mother-in-law lost her apartment. While hubby and his family have learned to take Lisa's abuse with a stepper and an eye roll, her boyfriend was no such sucker. Lisa's boyfriend dumped her after a year, the saint. I'm surprised he held on that long and told her to scream. And guess who she came crawling back to? Mother-in-law. And guess who took her in without a peep? Mother-in-law. I was disgusted because Lisa had abandoned the family, Josh had moved in with his girlfriend, and David had been forced to find an apartment and take mother-in-law in. Yet there Lisa was, sleeping on David's couch. But I'm the only daughter-in-law. I can't tell a mother how to handle her child. I tell hubby my thoughts, of course, but he's such a softie. He and Lena helped Lisa find her own apartment, since David couldn't accommodate Lisa long-term, and when she gets evicted after a year for being a brat to her landlord all the time, mother-in-law and hubby helped Lisa find another apartment. I even gave Lisa $700 from my personal savings so that she could pay the deposit on the place. Now we're finally getting to the real story. So, we loaned Lisa the $700 in the summer of 2022 with the expectation that she would pay me back at least $100 a month. The operative word is expectation. But the reality was that Lisa didn't pay us back at all. Every month, she had an excuse for hubby as to why she couldn't pay us the increments. Oh, I had to buy a new battery for my car. Oh, I had to go to the doctor and it was so expensive. Oh, I had to buy a new battery for my car. Wait, didn't I say that one about the battery already? Yep, Lisa actually used that excuse twice. I had already resigned myself to the cold reality that I'd never get that $700 back. We're not well off by any means, hubby and I, but we're not stingy. If the family needs help, we help, but rarely do we receive any thanks or compensation. I've grown used to it, so when Lisa slunked on paying us back, I didn't make a fuss. Yes, I knew she was splurging money on Shein every week and $20 lunches every day that she would flaunt in front of mother-in-law, who was still without a job 2 years later because the economy got so bad. But what could I do? I was more upset that Lisa would actually leave work every day to eat her $20 sushi bento box at Lena's place without ever offering Lena a bite, let alone a plate. But this is how the $10 debacle started. Lena was still living with David, and David was getting tired. See, even though the three brothers were equally supporting mother-in-law until she got her life together again, David had to live with her. That meant his social and romantic life had come to a halt. Not to mention, he was responsible for mother-in-law's pets and Lisa's dog. David had the added pressure of paying for extra utility use and the responsibility of transporting mother-in-law and the pets around. Notice, I never said anything about Lisa helping out. Well, that's because, in Lisa's mind, she provided a different kind of support. Lisa would let mother-in-law crash on her couch. No, she didn't let Lena live with her. She'd essentially invite Lena over for a sleepover every once in a while. Then the next day, Lisa would ship mother-in-law back to David's place. Never mind, David was already taking care of Lisa's dog. Never mind, David already supported mother-in-law financially and kept a roof over her head. But the sad thing is that Lena adored her sleepovers with Lisa. She looked forward to the mother-daughter time, even though we all knew that time was spent at home on the couch watching Netflix. David wasn't pleased with the favoritism. Anyway, Lena was at Lisa's apartment for one of the rare sleepovers, and she was strapped for cash. She needed toothpaste and dog food for the critters. So my mother-in-law asked Lisa for $10. Hubby and I found out because half an hour later, hubby got this phone call. Lisa, hubby, something's gotta give with mummy. What? Is mummy being stubborn about something? Lisa, no, I just can't deal with her asking for money anymore. Okay, first of all, that's not what that expression means. Secondly, what do you mean? You don't support mummy financially, we boys do. Excuse me, I do a lot for mummy, okay? Okay, whatever you say, what happened? Lisa proceeds to tell hubby about the $10 request. He puts his phone on speaker so that I can hear this utter rubbish. Honestly, I'm done. I can't deal with this anymore. Mummy's gonna break me. Really, Lisa? $10 is gonna break you? Lisa doesn't take too kindly to this retort, so she proceeds to list the following excuses as to why she doesn't have $10 to give to mother-in-law, followed by hubby's rejoinders. Lisa, I have a car loan to pay. No, you don't. We helped mummy buy the car for you in full. Lisa, I have car insurance to pay each month. Hubby, Since when does anyone pay car insurance monthly? That's an annual fee. Lisa, well, I have utilities to pay. No, you don't. Your rent is all inclusive. Lisa, not Netflix. I had to pay my Netflix bill, you know. You had to pay for Netflix? Are you freaking serious? That's your excuse? At this point, hubby has had enough, but he knows Lisa by now. If he rails on her like he wants to, she'll shut down. So being a good big brother, he offers advice instead. Okay, Lisa, it seems like you're having trouble budgeting your money. Mother-in-law isn't wrong for asking for $10. Lisa, but I need gas in my car. Listen, I get it. You don't have $10. Roll eyes. But the issue is that you never seem to have money when the family needs you. But you seem to be able to find money for frivolous things like bento box lunches and Shein orders. Lisa, what I do with my damn money is my damn business. Calm down. I'm just saying that you need to manage your money better. So, how much is your weekly salary? Silence. Hubby repeats the question. Lisa finally answers very, very quietly. Like four something. You mean like $450? Yes. Hubby pulls out the old Excel budget file we've been using for years. He sets up a budget for her. Then he asks her how much money she has left for the coming week. Not enough to give mommy $10. Please stop being belligerent. And this was the straw that broke Lisa's back. She pops off. She won't stand for this treatment. Hubby has no right to make Lisa feel bad for not giving mother-in-law $10. If Lisa says she doesn't have $10, she doesn't have $10. Why is everyone always so mean to her? Why is everyone always attacking her? After all, Lisa does for Lena. No one respects her. Lisa lets Lena sleep on her couch. Lisa lets Lena use her Netflix. Hubby, oh, bravo. You let mummy sleep on your couch and soak up the internet your landlord pays for. Thanks to you, mummy doesn't have to sleep on the street tonight. Lisa, you know what? Maybe she freaking should. I'm not the mother. I have my own money and my own life to live. If I want to buy sushi every day for lunch, I should be able to. Hubby, yeah, you can afford to eat sushi every day, but you haven't paid my wife back a single cent of the $700 she loaned you in the summer for the roof over your head. Lisa, you know what? Damn you, and damn mummy. I'm done with this family. Then she hangs up. People, within 2 minutes, I get a notification from my bank. Remember how Lisa had so many expenses and couldn't afford to pay us back that $700? Remember how she had so many bills that month that she couldn't give my mother-in-law $10? Well, Resclat, Lisa sent me the full $700. She had it the entire time. She'd simply decided for months that she wasn't going to rush to pay it back. Hell, she probably thought she'd never pay it back at all. But that's not the worst of it. Lena calls. She wants to know what happened. Lisa called her minutes before to tell Lena that she'd transferred $50 into Lena's account, and that would be the last $50 Lena was ever going to get from Lisa. Lisa then told Lena to have a nice life and to never contact her again. By damn. Of course, hubby is furious. The scheming brat had been cheating all of us. She'd taken the entire family for a ride. He tries to call Lisa to reprimand her for being so evil to Lena. But guess what? Lisa has blocked hubby everywhere. Lena and hubby talk about the situation. After all this, hubby is still concerned about Lisa's well-being. Hubby tells Lena about the budget he'd worked on for Lisa to help her. If she's only making $450 a week, Lisa needs to be more careful with her money. Lena, $450? Lisa doesn't make $450 a week. She makes $650. Read it. I literally fell to the floor. This puss. Lisa lied to hubby about her weekly salary just to get out of giving my mother-in-law $10. At this point, my mother-in-law Lena realizes Lisa doesn't care about anyone but herself. It hurts because Lisa is my mother-in-law's only daughter, but my mother-in-law agrees with hubby that this behavior can't be accepted. Hubby makes a pact with mother-in-law to go no contact with Lisa, since Lisa believes that she doesn't need her family. So then tell me why David calls us a week later to tell us that mother-in-law is babysitting Lisa's new dog. You heard me. New dog. Not the dog David is taking care of. Lisa got a new dog, and the moment mother-in-law saw Lisa's name on her phone screen, she took the call. This was about 4 months ago now, and Lisa and Lena seemed to be right as rain with each other. Even though Lisa said point blank that Lena should sleep on the street, Lena accepted see her back with no request for an apology. As for us, Lisa still has hubby blocked on all platforms. I guess we're the bad guys after all. How dare we call her out on her crap and make her feel bad for not giving mother-in-law $10, right? Update. It has officially been 9 months since hubby and I last spoke to Lisa, which was when she blocked him after he told her she was an asshole for not lending their mother $10. It has been amazingly quiet and drama-free. Read about that crap here. Lena has found a great job and started legitimate therapy. Her whole life has turned around, and she has her own apartment and car again, and even friends. My in-laws finally finalized their divorce, and father-in-law seems to have gotten Lisa in the split. Mother-in-law has little to no contact with her other than monthly check-ins via text. It's not what mother-in-law wanted, but her therapist says it's for the best until Lisa figures her heck out. David has his space back to himself, and he's thriving in a better job. Hubby has finally learned to distance himself from his family's problems, so we've been enjoying the peace. I may return with some of the drama that we've re-witnessed secondhand, but that drama does not affect us, nor are we personally investing our time or emotions into them. They're just karmically hilarious. Update. 12 days later. Listen, karma is sweet. Sweeter than a triple chocolate cake with a side of ice cream. And today's batch of karma is diabetes-inducing. Lisa has returned, and she wants to move in with the very mother she scorned last November. For those of you keeping up, you know that in November of last year, Lisa and dearest hubby had a falling out. She went no contact with us because she didn't want to give her mother $10. You can read that story here. She also went no contact with the rest of her siblings and her own mother. Eventually, she reopened communication with mother-in-law and David, but she never unblocked hubby. That's fine. Life is easier without her. Her selfishness and bad money management were more burdensome than her company was worth. On a good day, I'd rather cuddle a man-sized porcupine with halitosis than speak with her. But life has been good for my mother-in-law since November 2022. She finally got divorced from my tween-dicked father-in-law. She found a great therapist, landed a good job that she enjoys, and made some friends. In June, mother-in-law found herself a good apartment for her and the dogs. Mother-in-law has been doing so well that she just recently bought herself a car. My girl has even re-entered the dating pool. She has a date on Saturday. In my country, we have a saying that you're probably familiar with. They don't love me. They only know me when they need me. If you ever had any doubts about the legitimacy of that adage, let me introduce to you my sister-in-law. This Thursday, David pulled me aside at mother-in-law's new place to tell me a funny story. David got a call from Lisa. Below is a dramatization of that phone call. David: so you unblocked me. What do you want? Lisa: talk to mummy for me, eh? She is stinking right now. David: talk to her about what? Lisa: I need to move in with her. Things are tough, and I need some time to catch myself, but mummy said no. So, apparently, when Lisa saw mother-in-law's new apartment, which she did not help mother-in-law move into, she realized that she had something to gain. From what she told David, Lisa can no longer afford her rent. She's behind on bills and can barely afford to take care of her new dog. Yes, Lisa took several vacations over the last 2 years, and, yes, she did just come back from one such trip. But those vacations were necessary for her mental and emotional well-being. However, now her bills are overwhelming her. Lisa thinks that moving into her mother's new apartment will give her the opportunity to fix her financial situation. But mother-in-law turned Lisa down. The space is too small. Lisa: talk to her for me, David. We're family. We're supposed to help each other. David, blood boiling, but sympathetic: how about I lend you some money for rent this month, and we'll talk to hubby about what you could do. Lisa: I don't need to be paying rent right now. I just don't get it. Realization kicks in. David: so how are you going to move in with mummy if you can't pay rent? Lisa: why do you think I need to move in with her? I can't pay any bills. Yes, y'all. Lisa wants to move in with mother-in-law and live rent and bill free. Indefinitely. After this yeast infection denied her mother $10 for dog food, and after she took back her TV, and after slandering her entire family's names across town, Lisa wants mother-in-law to take her in free of charge. And mother-in-law said, no, puss. That was 2 weeks ago, and mother-in-law isn't budging. Meanwhile, David, hubby, and I have been smiling smugly from the sidelines. You reap what you sow. Comment: I remember your original post. Your sister-in-law is what I refer to as a pink dot. I work for an organization that helps people financially with rent, bills, food, etc. When we discover that someone is a user and abuser of the system, we put a pink dot on their card and simply tell them that we're unable to help them and wish them luck. People like that know exactly what they're doing. I have no doubt your sister-in-law will find some sap to believe whatever story she wants to spin and find a way to continue to manage her lifestyle.